Ahmed was a wealthy heir to an oil empire who ran a family business. When he was 35 years old, he fell madly in love with Malika, a girl who was 16 years younger than him, and married her. He was happy and he didn't need other women. Everything was fine. However, his driver, whom he had known since childhood, began to convince the man that the bride was cheating on him. Tired of these hints, the millionaire decided to disguise himself as a chauffeur and take his place to keep an eye on his wife. What he found out was even worse than he could have imagined. Ahmed was a very attractive man, noble and honest. He grew up in Dubai, surrounded by luxury and all amenities, and was educated by the best teachers from Europe and the USA. Therefore, he decided to move to the USA to study finance at a well-known university. His parents arranged for his son to marry a girl from a rich family when he was only 5 years old, so when he decided to go abroad, they reminded him of these obligations. The girl was very beautiful, but Ahmed did not like her. He told his parents that although he respected the culture of the country, he did not believe in a loveless marriage. After numerous arguments, his parents were able to convince him that he had to do his duty. Ahmed promised that he would fulfill his obligations, but first he would graduate from university. That girl was also not enthusiastic about this marriage. The young people were very different and each had their own interests and goals. However, they understood that if they did not obey their parents, then everything could end badly. A strong friendship was formed between the young people, which they maintained even at a distance. When Ahmed was only a year away from graduating from university, he told the bride that it was time to plan the wedding. She replied that she would start preparing everything necessary, although she was not sure about the correctness of this marriage. But fate had other plans for this couple. The girl told the groom that she really wanted to visit the USA and asked him to take her there before the wedding. Ahmed agreed, as they planned to move there to live after the wedding. The bride went on a trip with her aunt, but they never reached their destination. On the way to the airport they got into a terrible accident. The girl died almost immediately. Ahmed was inconsolable, because the girl was his best friend. The guy was very sad about her death. After the incident, he no longer wanted to return to his country and told his parents that he would stay to work in America. Years passed, his father fell ill and asked his son to come home to take over the management of the family oil empire. Ahmed could not refuse, because he was the only son and knew how important this business was for the family. Ahmed was already 35 years old when he returned to his native Dubai to help his mother take care of his sick father. When the elderly man died, of course, all the inheritance went to Ahmed, and he began to run all the family businesses. One day, rushing to a business meeting at the hotel, the man ran into Malika, a beautiful young girl, who turned out to work at the hotel reception. Ahmed was shocked by the beauty of the girl and the next day returned to the hotel again to see her and invite her to dinner. After finding out who he was, the girl refused the invitation, but Ahmed began to convince her that all these class differences were just nonsense, invented by people who like to feel the most important. He said that he had lived in the United States for more than 10 years and was free from all prejudices. Finally, he managed to persuade the girl to go to dinner with him, and after that they began to see each other almost every day, until finally they began to officially meet. Malika did not hide from her fiancé that she was born into a poor family and it so happened that her parents were no longer alive. But he didn't care about her background, and a year later the young people got married. Ahmed's mother was not very happy with this marriage, as she did not know anything about her daughter-in-law. Many of her acquaintances discussed, the poor girl was very lucky to find such a rich husband, who was 16 years older than her, and everyone was sure that she had agreed to the marriage only out of self-interest. Ahmed trusted his wife because he thought she was a good, honest woman. However, his mother constantly said that he made the wrong choice. but things got even worse when his driver started telling him the same thing. The driver told the owner that he was afraid that his wife was cheating on him, since every day she asked to be taken to the same place outside the city, where she went into some house and did not leave for hours. Ahmed did not believe that his wife could cheat on him, but what she was doing was beyond the bounds of decency anyway. In the Arab Emirates, it was supposed that a wife should tell her husband about all her actions, but she never told him about these strange trips. Then the man hired a makeup artist, who made him look as much like his driver as possible. The moment of truth has come. Malika decided to take advantage of the fact that her husband had gone somewhere to go about his business early. She called the driver and said that she needed to go where she usually went. He waited until the woman got into the car and drove her to the place the driver had told her about. There, the woman got out of the car and walked down a narrow alley that the car could not enter. Ahmed did not know what to do, but after an hour of waiting and thinking, he got out of the car and walked up to the house where his wife entered. When he entered the house, the whole world turned upside down for him. He saw his wife feeding an old man lying in bed with a spoon. Malika, seeing that the one she thought was the driver entered the house, said that this man was her grandfather, whom she did not tell her husband about, since he himself asked her not to tell her husband anything. "My grandfather asked me to promise that I would not tell Ahmed about him," Malika said. An elderly man uttered the following words at this moment: "For me, the happiness of my granddaughter has always been the most important thing. A sick old man cannot become an obstacle. I am very pleased, since I know that she fell in love with a good and noble man." "Sonora, are you really in love with your husband?" the driver asked. "I love him with all my heart, even though my mother and many other people think I'm with him for the money. Ahmed is a wonderful man who does not need to be rich to be loved, so I am proud to carry his child under my heart," Malika answered. Ahmed was already beginning to show tears. He was both glad and sad. He could not understand why his beloved did not tell him about the man who raised her, because he would have accepted him without hesitation, but the news about the child drove all negative thoughts away. At that moment, Ahmed began to take off his makeup and apologized to his wife for allowing himself to doubt her. He told Maliki's grandfather that he would be very happy if he moved in with them. The couple gathered all the man's belongings and took him to their house, where he lived happily in his last years, enjoying the company of his granddaughter and her husband and 3 great-grandchildren. This is how our story ends today. Fortunately, negative expectations are not always justified. Subscribe to our channel, like it, turn on notifications so you don't miss new stories.